things that I want and being hungry for those things, number one, you've got to work on yourself. It's very important that you engage in an ongoing process to develop you. Spend more time on yourself than what you've been spending. It's very important. You owe that to yourself. I was reading a book by Og Mandino called The University of Success. Read one line, gave me a chill. I didn't have to read anything else in the book. He said, many of us never realize our greatness because we become sidetracked by secondary activity. We spread ourselves too thin, don't know how to say no. And we find ourselves doing all kinds of things and never ever have time to do those things that we need to do to work on ourselves. And then there goes a second, there goes another second, there goes another second, and we can't stop and hold time. And before you know it, you wake up one day and you're behind on your dreams and your bills. So decide that you're going to take some time to work on you, that you deserve that from yourself, that your life deserves some prime time because you are creating your own production. As Michael Todd would say, you are the star of your show. You are the director. You're writing the script. And you will determine whether your life is a smash office hit or flop. You determine that. Working on yourself, talking to yourself. That's so very important. Overcoming the negative conversation, that inner dialogue that's going on all the time, even when you don't want it to be there. You can't stop yourself right now from thinking. You can't do it. It's going on. And so learning how to empower yourself, part of doing that is standing up to yourself. You've got to stand up inside yourself sometimes and say, shut up. You've got to do this. I was going to give a presentation, and this voice inside of me saying, you can't do this. You don't have everything it takes. Shut up. I'm behind on my bills, and you're telling me what I can't do. I have got to do it. You'll get scared sometimes. Your mind will go blank on you. Some people you will allow to unnerve you, and you wonder, what's wrong with me? I'm not crazy. That's why you've got to learn to make a conscious, deliberate, determined effort to stand up inside yourself. Working on yourself, watching that inner dialogue, it will determine the quality of your life. I don't believe this. I know this. I've had a challenge of losing weight. I'm walking through the airport, this voice say, why don't you have some M&M peanuts? No! Well, just one. Then after you eat that, you might as well have a Snicker now, you sucker. I mean, it's challenging. My mother fixed the kind of sweet potato pie you can't eat with your shoes on. Have to take your shoes off so you can wiggle your toes. It sticks on my fingers. It says, eat it. One little bite won't hurt. That voice, constantly. Little demons from Colonel Sanders driving my car in there. I had to say, no. I'll diet tomorrow. I saw a skinny man get hit by a truck. Had he had a little bit more weight, he might have lived, you know. Some of you know what I'm talking about. Raise your hand if you know that. That voice is awesome. So you have got to stand up to that voice. When you're working on something you want to achieve, you have got to stand up to that voice. You've got to sell yourself every day on your abilities, on what you're doing, on the goal that you want to reach. You've got to sell yourself every day, according to your level of belief. It will manifest itself in what you're doing. Whatever we have right now, whatever we're demonstrating in our lives, is a result of what we believe subconsciously that we deserve. And part of increasing that belief level is that you have got to convince yourself every day You've got to sell yourself. I do a lot of training for many corporations, and I conduct sales seminars, and I've heard all kind of guys doing techniques and training people techniques of how to close sales and how to work with and begin to control the sale and how to ask for the close. Let me share something with you. You can learn all the techniques in the world. If you don't believe in yourself, it won't happen for you. I learned all of it. So that's why I do a training called Focus on the Seller. You've got to focus on you. And as you convince you, as you sell yourself every day, you will begin to see a difference in the things that you're doing. Selling yourself on your ability to perform a job, to achieve a certain objective. Telling yourself every day, here I go again. And I got what it takes. This is my day, and nothing out here is going to stop me. And when you go out there, life, say, come over here. Say it again. Well, I'll be back tomorrow. That brings me to the next thing. It takes courage to act. Part of being hungry when you've been defeated, it takes courage to start over again. I used to do door-to-door sales, and I was working with another friend of mine, and door-to-door sales, I mean, it's punishing. It's cruel and unusual punishment. And I was a little boy knocking on the door. Hello, would you like to buy a nice working television set? No money down? No! Bam! They slammed the door in your face. And the friend of mine that was working with me, they slammed the door in his face, and I looked back, and he was going to the car. He said, I can't do this. And he sat down in the car, and he said, you go ahead, I'll be here when you get back. Now, he had a mother and father to take care of him. My mother was ill. I am adopted. I was hungry. I had to go on. I learned something about myself. That when you step into your fears, somebody said, it was Winston Churchill, he said that courage is going from failure to failure without losing enthusiasm. When you step into your fears and continue to push yourself to go on, something happens for you. It will enable you to transcend yourself. I went to the next door. You like to buy a nice working television? No! Bam! Went to the next door.
Nobody can say no. When Jesus says yes, nobody can say no.
It is time for Yes with Yesse. Please welcome your host, Yesenia Leva.
Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. It is I. It is I. Welcome everyone to Yes with Yesse. Welcome everyone that is listening on social media. I see you guys coming in. Thank you so much for coming in and joining me tonight, this evening, morning, or afternoon, wherever you are listening from. It is about 6:11 p.m. Eastern time over here. Beautiful weather. Just throwing it out there. Beautiful weather. I hope it stays like this for quite some time. It's fresh out there. It's fresh out there. So it's good. Very good. So do me a favor as you come in, please share the broadcast. Let others know that we are on with Yes with Yesse. Just a platform here to talk to you guys for a few minutes, just to empower you, to motivate you, to provide resources, to just give you an insight as to a day in the life of Jesse and so many others that live with differences, disabilities, whatever we want to call them, special needs. Everyone is comfortable with a different type of word for it. I just call it for what I feel like it is. It's a disability, and I work every day to change the way we view that word disability. It's not this terrible thing that we have to get rid of and put sugar all over it. It's a disability. So I rather like I say, I rather focus on the actual needs, right? The disabilities, the needs, and what we do. What is it that we do with what we have, from the perspective of a disability, as in my case, I have a physical disability and other underlying medical conditions because of that diagnosis that I got. And so what I choose to do with it is what matters, not the label that society and government and all that puts on this thing, this thing, spina bifida, cerebral palsy, Down syndrome. It's not about the label that others give it, but more of what I do with it, with my life. And so that is a lot of what I do, with my life in general. So if you know anyone that is living with a disability, that needs to be, motivated, that needs to be pushed, that needs a word of encouragement, resources, information, whatever it is that they need, please share the broadcast. Share it with them, copy, paste, share the YouTube channel, subscribe and like, so that you know when we are on the air live. And subscribe. And to learn more, to learn just a little bit more, you can go to Yes with Yesse. Yes with Yesse. YesWithYesse.com. And I'll tell you a little bit more about me and what I do and all the awesome things that I get the opportunity to do with the work that God has given me to do while I'm here on earth. So share the broadcast. Let others know that we are here. Just talking to you for a few minutes. We are in December. It's the end of the year, and December has a lot of days, special dates that individuals with disability commemorate or celebrate in a sense, and not because it's a matter of celebration, having a disability, it's let's celebrate. No, it's not like that, but more so to bringing awareness, bringing information, letting people know. I'd like to see it as a way of letting people know, like, hey, disabilities do exist and it's okay. It's okay. And here's what you can do versus what you cannot do. Here's the information and the resources that are available to you in order to help you be the best version of yourself in the now. And so that's what I kind of, that's how I like to view the awareness days versus other things out there. And so that there's a lot of that going on right now, including mental health focus on men. Actually, there's cerebral palsy awareness. There is disability awareness month. There is so many things. And so at least we get to celebrate, right? At least we get to celebrate, learn. It's a great opportunity for speaking engagements. It's great opportunity to go to different groups of those that are not affected by a disability, that don't live with a disability, and go encourage and go teach about what we as someone with a disability live and what we need to promote a more inclusive, educated, and overall accessible community for all people with and without disability. And so with that, I want to share something with you all and just talk about something. So, sorry about that. Not sure where that came from.
Your peace will fill my heart, my mind.
So one of the things rather that I have lived through in the past couple months is change. Change from something that I wanted, that I was looking forward to, that I have worked for, and all these different things, to a change or an outcome that perhaps I didn't want or wasn't expecting, or whatever the case. And so it was a big change. But the question is change always for the better, or is change always for the worse? And if it is a change that we did, for the worse, if you will, that we learned later on that it wasn't for the best, but it was for for a not so good, is that okay? And can we learn from that experience to turn it around for good, right? And so brokenness leading to a blessing, whatever that might be in your life, a relationship, anything at all, a change of a move, a change of employment, whatever it is, just think about that thing that you thought was a moment or a transition of brokenness leading to a blessing. And so for me, when I accepted a promotion at work, I was excited. I was like, yes, I'm praying and all these things, and I'm getting advice, and I was excited because I'm like, all right, I can do this. Like, I've worked for this. I've worked to educate myself on all these things, disability. I love what I do. I love the students that I work with, and then I get to learn more. So I was excited and excited to learn. They think it's always great to learn. And so I thought about that opportunity from that perspective of opportunity, of growth, of financial growth, of knowledge, growth in knowledge, all of that. But I didn't think about it from a personal level. And when I say I didn't think about it from a personal level, I didn't think about it in regards to, I never connected it to my health. I never connected it truly to my time. I never connected it to other things that are important to me in my life at that time and right now. And so what happened with me, I accepted it and everything, and I learned and I loved it, but it literally consumed my time. It consumed my life. It became my life. And I was later warned that it would. Hey, by the way, this is like life consuming. This can consume all of you. And at that point I was like, no. I was like, just thinking about it more, because it was something, and someone said this to me actually in the onset of the whole thing. Are you going to be able to handle it? Are you as is your body going to be able to handle it? Is your mind, is your stress and all that? And I'm like, yeah, I'm like, yes, I'm gonna handle it. I'll be fine. Just trying to be that that strong person, right? That one that, yeah, I'm gonna give it a try. I'm not gonna give up. Like, this is it. And so that wasn't the case. Long story short, that was not the case. So when I talk about a brokenness leading to a blessing, it's more than anything spiritually, right? Whatever it is that we experience in our life, seeing it from our spiritual perspective, where our spiritual journey, where our personal pain, our failures, the things that we try, like I tried that particular opportunity, and we fail, or at least we feel like we fail, actually leads to a deeper faith. It leads to healing. It's like, all right, I tried this, and whatever those tasks were that I tried, I wanted to know whether or not I could do it. I wanted to know whether or not I had it in me. I wanted to know whether or not I was qualified, maybe. And we did it. I know in my case, I did it. I wanted to try. And so that then brings a sense of healing and a blessing. It's kind of like we say, a blessing in disguise, because it stretched me. It made me work harder. It made me learn. I'm still learning. I had to, work with a diverse group of people, which sometimes is very hard. And I did. And so it is in these hard times sometimes, again, I'm relating it to that which I lived personally, but it's in these hard times, whatever it is that we are going through, that God uses us as a vessel for his power, not ours, and for his purpose in our lives. All of it is connected to my purpose. Every single part of what I learned, what I did, and what I didn't do is a part of my purpose, and for God's purpose specifically in my life. And so, which comes to our spiritual growth, right? Our spiritual growth, that which is within you. Greater is he that is in you than he who is in the world. So what is it that is in you in these moments of hardships, of, oh my gosh, like, I feel like I failed. I feel like I'm not good enough. I felt in the beginning that I wasn't, side note, I felt in the very beginning of it that I wasn't good enough to even be offered this promotion. Like me, like I'm not qualified, right? But yes, God qualifies the called. And so yes, I am qualified, and yes, you are qualified as well. And so it comes with our spiritual growth, the inner strength, the ability to persevere through it all, and to mature. Little by little, every situation, every problem, everything really leads to us as a person, emotionally and mentally and everything else, to be more mature in whatever it is that we, to be more mature as a person with whatever it is that we are doing. But as I mentioned a second ago, it is in these times that we also feel like we failed. Like after this happened, I felt like I failed. Like I can't let this go, because if I let this go, that means that I'm going to, prove people that maybe thought I couldn't do it. Not that I know that anybody ever thought that, but in my mind, I can't prove to people that I couldn't do this, or that I couldn't handle it, or that it was too much for me, or that the stress was too much. And so it gives you that sense of failure, like that you didn't succeed in something, that you failed. And I remember having this conversation at home with my dad when I was having this feeling, and that's, he was like, no, you did not fail. You're not failing. You haven't failed. You tried. You gave it a try, and you learned, and you gave yourself that opportunity and ability to stretch yourself a little bit. Now you know what you can do, what you can't do. Again, more than anything, from a physical, emotional perspective. And now you just move on. Basically, you move on. And so, we feel like we failed, but yet we didn't fail. And we don't fail just because something didn't turn out our way. That is very important too. And God is giving us the opportunity in everything that we do, especially I think in these hard times, in these times where of struggle, of failure, of insecurity, of all that stuff that when we allow our mind to take over, is the things that come to our mind. God is giving us the opportunity to get closer to Him. Like, Lord, I give it all to you. I give myself away. Use me, and let your will be done. Like, prayer life just gets heavy, as it should always be. And yeah, we get to, I know for me, in my experience, we get the opportunity to pray more, to serve, to just really, I remember, every day, I do this every day on my way to work, after, even before or after I listen to prayer and the shows in the morning. Like, I'm talking to God, I'm praying, and I'm like, giving this day to Him and the opportunities that might come my way. And so it really has brought me closer to God in to have more quiet moments with Him, pray more, and really listen. And remember, more than anything, to remember the promise that He has for my life, which I already know. I already know why I'm here. I already know the promise that He has for me. I already know what I am meant to do and what I am supposed to do. And yet, as in this situation, I allow different opportunities and different things to get in my way and kind of sidetrack me from the purpose that God has given me. And so when I was able to free up my time some more, now I'm like, all right, now I'm back in alignment with my purpose. Literally, like, now I'm back to my Yes with Yesse. I'm back to my gym, to me, to my health. I'm back to, my regular scheduled programming, like going back to prayer and being on time and going to church, all the things that make me me, all the things that make me me, all the things that at the end of the day if it makes you you, and God's purpose for your life, and it makes you happy, and it gives you joy, and it gives you good health and long life, that is what we are to be doing. And we know, when we know. But yet again, as humans, we allowed ourselves to get sidetracked and to get pulled aside by the things that our flesh wants. We want, and sometimes things that we need. We need more money. We need to pay bills. We need to be more financially independent. And I had a conversation with someone who understood that. They're like, yeah, I know you want to, you don't want to depend on people. You want to be financially independent. And yeah, that was exactly why I took the opportunity. But it taught me that obviously money is nothing. Money is not everything, and that God will provide. God has provided all of my needs before this job. He will continue to provide all of my needs forever and forever. And so many lessons learned in this process and in this opportunity, that it has been really, really, really awesome. And so it's just a purpose, guys. Remember your purpose. Remember why you started. Remember why you're still doing what you're doing. And remember the why. Remember where you want to go, where you want to end up, if you will. What's the big picture? What is the big picture and all of God's divine purpose? Because our purpose is in all that we do. Our purpose is in all that we do. And so we have to remember what is God's divine purpose in our lives. The purpose in the hardships, the purpose in the lessons, the purpose in the good times, and the people that we meet, even, and the people that God takes away from our lives. Like, everything that we do has a purpose. And so for me, it is a reminder to stay in alignment with God's purpose for my life. And the moment you know that the moment you feel like it's going sideways, that's not, when your life is going sideways, when your health is going sideways, when your the things that you love to do or whatnot are no longer a part of your day-to-day life, like, that's that thing, whatever that was, that those changes in your life are not from God, is not from God. And so that was a reminder for me. And so all of it comes with transformation at the end, right? We go through all of this, we go through this entire process, and then it's the transformation in the process, right? It's our wounds, it's our hurt, it's our feelings, our feeling of failure. It's all of those things that turns into our very testimony. And it takes us back to our purpose, allowing God to shine through our purpose, to shine through our life, to remind me of why I started. And when I say to remind me of why I started, what I'm referring to is why I started doing what I love to do, why I started my business, why I do Yes with Yesse, the impact that I want to make, the impact that I want to leave behind, the fact that I know there's so many out there that need services, that need what I have to offer. And so it is a reminder to go back to my original why. And don't get me wrong, I was doing all of this, continue to, because I'm still working. I continue to do all of this within the job and all of that. But there's more. The job is great. I love my job. I love what I do. But God has more for me when I think about purpose. When I think about God's purpose for my life, there's so much more. And that's what I want to focus on. That is what I want to focus on. And so when I think about all of that, when we talk about brokenness leading to blessing in our journey, both spiritually, physically, emotionally, and everything else, the journey. That's the journey. That whole thing that we have to go through, all the situations, everything is the journey. And so there's a couple things that I feel like we can do as people, as a person, as a child of God, that we can do to make sure that we never lose sight of our purpose. Never lose sight of our purpose. Therefore, never lose sight of the blessing that God has in store for you and for me. And one of those things is to acknowledge that, acknowledge those things that need improvement. We're not perfect, right? And so acknowledge those things that need improvement. Acknowledge those places that we have failed, and the things that we have failed in our emotions, in our attitude, in our relationships, in whatever it is. Acknowledge where we have failed. Acknowledge when we made a decision that we weren't supposed to make, that maybe we thought it was the best thing, but it wasn't. Acknowledging that. Acknowledging when perhaps someone has failed you. Or you acknowledging when you have failed someone, which is harder to do. When maybe you feel like someone has betrayed you or anything like that. Things that we cannot control, because as we have been learning in this time of fasting and prayer, God cannot bless if we don't forgive. And part of forgiving is forgiving self. Forgive yourselves for, making decisions you weren't supposed to, or for not listening, or, whatever it is. It's about acknowledgement and the forgiveness and acknowledging those things that need improvement. It's okay to fall. What we can't do is stay down. You got to get up. Like my favorite quote says, If you fall, make sure you fall on your back, because if you can look up, you can get up. And so we're going to fall. We're going to trip. We just can't stay there. We got to get back up and keep it moving. And of course, turn to God. Turn to God. Turn everything and everyone, all your situations, absolutely all of it, to God. And embracing the process. I think that is something that I love, embracing the process, the whole thing. But it's also one of the hardest things, because it doesn't always go our way. So it's very difficult. But embracing the process. When somebody asks me, what's, I don't know, your favorite part of the year, or your favorite point in the year, or what is the hardest thing, the best thing of your process? I'm like, all of it, the whole thing, all of it, because it is the everything that happens in your process is necessary for where you are today. I know that for me, absolutely everything that has happened in my life, from family issues to doctor visits, to being told you'll never walk, to surgeries, to open spine, to failure, to being told no, to closed doors, to being told I will never drive again, or I will never go to college, or much less be an entrepreneur and a business owner. All of that is all of that is my process for where I am and who I am today. And being a part of ministry, being a part of ministry, being an ordained deaconess, yeah. But all of that is a part of my process, because God sees me. Says, yes, you're able. Yes, you can do this, because you're a child of God. So embracing that process is super important. Remembering that process doesn't define you. It doesn't define you. And all of that, I think, is our brokenness as just life happenings and what we go through, and all of that leading to our blessing. And then it's up to us, once we embrace the process and trust God's plan, and grow and learn in the hard times and the trials, and enjoy the process, and then we receive a blessing, right? Then we receive a blessing and peace. Like, okay, God, thank you. We did it. We went through that process. We received that blessing. I know God blesses me every single day. And so with that comes peace. Personally, I have never felt a peace more than I feel it now. At home, I'm good, with my job, with my health. I have health concerns. I have, different things that I got to work on with my health, but I'm working on it. They are concerns, but that's all they are. And I know that God will turn it around for good. And I know that I'm meeting him halfway, doing what I have to do on my end to make sure that those things get better. And so I'm not worried about it. Like, for the first time, perhaps, I'm not worried about it. I know that everything will be okay, because I know God is with me. And he blesses me. And I'm grateful. Super grateful, because I know God continues to bless me. And that the peace that only he can give, and the healing that he can only give, and the purpose is mine. So in all things, in absolutely all things, give thanks, right? Everything that we do, give thanks, and know that God is with us. So I wanted to share that with you guys today. It's something that that I can relate to. And I remember in the beginning of my journey where, I was just like so many others out there. I didn't know much. I didn't know much of anything. I didn't think that I had purpose. I didn't think that I had a voice. I didn't think that I could, have an impact on anyone. I thought so much. And I think about my journey, as we heard. I think about my journey, and I'm like, Lord, thank you. Sister Mary, good evening. Thank you for joining. Alex, I see you. Flor, good evening. Pastor Akil, I see you. Thank you so much for joining. And so we're talking brokenness leading to blessing. And hey, I know I shared all these things, and if I, how can I tell you? If I think about from the beginning of my life, as I mentioned, um, I have that which so many people see as brokenness, as I mentioned, with this disability. But can I tell you that that very thing that so many consider a brokenness, a disease, all these different negative things, has became and has given me my purpose. And so while others, have that feeling about a disability being X, Y, and Z, that quote unquote brokenness that others see has become my purpose. And it is because of my purpose that I can do what I do and relate to so many. And there's nothing better than that to me. I remember a couple months ago, I was in, where was I? I'm everywhere. I had a speaking engagement in I think in around here, actually, around our home area. And a young lady was walking around with a cane, and she started crying when I spoke and everything, and everything finished. She was crying, and I was like, why are you crying? And I went to say hello to her, and she said, because I see me. I walk with a cane, you walk with a cane, and I feel seen, I feel represented. And she was crying, and so I was like, wow, Lord, thank you, because at that moment He used me to connect with someone that has felt unseen, that has felt less than, that has felt like they don't matter, that has felt like they're not represented because of a cane. I'm like, no, ma'am, you are represented. And we talked for a long time, and so that's purpose. That is purpose, when I have that opportunity to speak to someone that feels underrepresented, that feels less than, that feels like they don't matter because they're different and they have a disability. That is part of my journey. And now I get to talk to them about God and how they are perfectly and wonderfully made in God's image, and how if God did it for me, He can do it for them, and He will do it for them. It's the best of both worlds. So remember to pray, remember to serve, remember to do all things in the name of Jesus and His will, and His will be done. I promise, because He has done it for me. He will do it for you. So thank you all for joining, for taking the time to be here. I pray that we see you guys tonight for prayer at 7 p.m. right here at New Season Worship Center. 4660 North University Drive, Lauderhill. We'll also invite you to our Sunday morning service at 11 a.m. Sunday morning, 11 a.m. 4660 North University Drive in Lauderhill, Florida, 33351. And hey guys, we are also doing a toy drive. So if you are in the area, you come to New Season, you're part of the ministry in any way, or this first time you're hearing, we are having a toy drive. So we would love to ask that you bring a toy for our underprivileged kids in the community, and that is going to be awesome. That's something that I love to do. I love giving back to the community and the fun events to give back. So if you can get a toy, purchase a toy and bring it for our toy drive, that would be greatly appreciated. Remember, you are a child of God. You are welcome. You are welcome here, and we do look forward to seeing you. Of course, continue listening on New Season Gospel FM, your number one gospel station. You can tune in to newseasonfm.com and listen in 24/7, because we're on all day, 24/7. And join us again tomorrow for Fun Friday, or as I call it, Fun Friday. Fun Friday tomorrow morning. Of course, we start off with prayer time at 6:30 a.m. with Pastor Henry, and then the Pastor Steve show later after prayer. All right, so join us again tomorrow, and again, we'll be here for prayer. So look forward to seeing you guys. Look forward to seeing you on another blessed Sunday as well, and we will do it all over again, God's willing, next week, Thursday, on another episode of Yes with Yesse. If you have a testimony, you have a story, you know someone that has a story, you know someone that needs a resource, reach out to me, and I would love to speak to you. And of course, different services that are available are on the screen through my disability programs and training services, whether it's advocacy, benefits counseling, government benefits. A lot of times people need assistance with Medicare, Medicaid, Social Security, disability. They just don't know the process or, what's needed. I can help you. I can help you be included in events and activities in the community, different skills programs, mentorship, women empowerment, you name it. Your one-stop shop for disability services. And ladies, if you live with any kind of disability or not, and you need some, goal setting, women empowerment, reach out, because there's something available for everyone. You can visit DPT for Disability Programs Training, dptmanagement.org, and all the information is listed there as well. Or you can visit yeswithyesse.com. All right. And if you have any question at all, feel free to call. Feel free to call me 954-529-4586. That's 954-529-4586. And I would love to help you in any way that I can. All right. So God bless you. See you again, God's willing, next week on another episode of Yes with Yesse. Don't miss it. And look forward to seeing you in the upcoming days in our activities here at New Season. Have an amazing rest of your day, and I look forward to seeing you again.